type.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, what the fuck, Jables? What the fuck?
What?
God damn it. I look, I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in real goddamn hot today. Yeah, look at you. Is that Fringe? Would you say that's Fringe?
You bet your ass it is.
Whoa.
You gotta keep warm, you know?
God.
You gotta keep warm.
Look, I know I've bitched about this before on the show. I'm going to bitch about it again. It seems like this is the endless winter. And we live in the South.
Yeah.
Live in the South. It's fucking 40 degrees today, which is shit. I mean, absolute, pure, raw, unfiltered shit.
Bullshit.
We go to Los Angeles for, 2 weeks? We were there for, 2.5 weeks, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Not one day above, 60 there?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah. Raining. They never get rain. They're like in a
Never get
drought.
rain. Yeah.
And as soon as we get there, it's like, oh, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Because they don't ever get rain. So it was like, oh my, did you hear?
Isn't it great?
It's going to rain. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hasn't rained here in 3 years.
Yeah. Black Rifle Coffee is our chief sponsor of the show. I wear their apparel all the time and their shit, and I love it. The problem is this winter is drug out so long that I'm wearing the same fucking sweat. Like, they don't have enough sweatshirts.
Right.
Because 5, 6 is probably usually enough for a human. So I started, since this is a video show as well, I added a crab to it. Like to the outside of it, just to let people know that, hey,
that you're cool and different.
Well, I'm trying to be, because what I've noticed is this, in like my Instagram pictures and Facebook pictures and shit, I'm wearing like the same like 5 sweatshirts and everything, and everybody's like, is he just not shower or care? And it's like, no, it has been freezing everywhere I've gone. So this year, just to break it down, I've been to Vegas, fucking cold.
Right.
Los Angeles, fucking cold. Salt Lake City, forget it. Wilmington, North Carolina, freezing. The whole global warming thing, I can't even pronounce my words correctly because I'm fucking freezing.
Right.
Is bullshit. Al Gore can eat a dick on his private jet and his fucking 50 goddamn. You know, he flies like 50 times a month. He has like the biggest carbon footprint, him and DiCaprio, out of every celebrity of all time. Have you seen his house, by the way?
Whose? Which ones?
Al Gore's.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Solar everything, I imagine,
no,
right?
Not a prayer. Not one solar panel on the whole thing. If you pull up Al Gore's house, because they've got pictures of it online, one of his houses, the one in Malibu is, I would guess at like maybe $30 to $40 million, this house. Most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. I mean, you're talking sprinklers, pools, like...
in California.
Oh, yeah. God knows.
Very Tom Selleck.
Yeah. And this is Al fucking Gore.
Right.
So he can take that whole shit and jam it up his ass. Do I believe that global warming's probably happening up in like Antarctica and shit? Yeah, probably. But again, it's like the Dennis Miller thing where great. The average every 100 years, it rises 1.6 degrees.
Right.
Temperature wise. I don't give a shit. I am saying that for the record. I do not care. We have a child. They're going to live on in the future. Great. If the weather raises another 1.6 degrees in another 100 years for our great grandchildren that I will definitely not be alive for, sorry about it. I'm having a 6-pack of Coca-Cola, probably throwing the aluminum down the street and not reusing that plastic. Right. Don't care about any of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think recycling makes the world look, or makes us look poor.
Yeah, it makes us look poor as a country.
Yeah, all those fucking bottles and everywhere.
And where's
Why
it
do we
really?
need
Where's
to
it really
recycle?
fucking going?
Yeah.
Like all of that. Where's that really going?
Stop being poor.
The other thing that I would like to point out is this: Stephen Hawking just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He left one final theory he was trying to prove and work on, which is the theory of another universe, and how when you leave this one, you go to another one, and how it's possible to be in like a black hole and all of that stuff. But he also in this predicted the end of time itself on this Earth, and he said the year 2600 was probably the end of this Earth. He said, yeah. It's another 600 years away.
I'm good.
Don't fucking care. And I know what you're thinking at home. You're probably thinking to yourself at home, hey, Ross, I care about my 9 generations of people that I want to be around for. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah. 600 years away is when this, according to Hawking, who, look, motherfucker really didn't miss that much anyways.
Right.
He's probably right about that. He claims that we'll be out of energy. The stars will be out of energy, and we're going to have to go to another. We're going to have to find another planet to go on. But he does believe that there is other Earths out there to go on. But if you would have told whoever my fucking ancestors were back in Ireland 600 years ago, hey, man, I know you guys are going through this potato famine or whatever the fuck it is. Do you care about your 90th great-grandchild in 600 years? I can assure you, the guy, my whatever 90th grandfather that is, would be like, I don't fucking care. Like, it doesn't care.
Right.
Neither do I. And that's not like me being insensitive. I'm not going to be here in 600 years to say, hey, let's go have a catch. Let's go have a barbecue. Let's go have a catch and a barbecue. I care about my immediate children right now, but they're fine. They're going to be fine. And then they can figure it out, after that.
I met my great grandma and she did not care what happened to me.
You know what? I met your great grandmother and she did not care.
She doesn't care.
She did not care.
If whatever she was doing made her life more convenient, and you asked her,
SIGs inside,
and you asked her, even the great grandchild that you met, are you worried that you've seen face to face?
Yeah.
Are you worried about how this might affect them? And she would say, no, I'm doing it because it makes my life easier.
Yeah.
And that's just a little bit about my family, but like, I think a lot of people.
SIGs inside.
SIGs inside.
Right?
Yeah. SIGs inside.
Yeah.
Cat litter inside.
Yep.
I mean, all these things that are really bad for you in the environment.
And tell the audience how old she is.
89.
Yeah. 89 years old.
Yeah.
The average life expectancy for a human now is allegedly like 78.
Yeah.
I heard it might be 84. 84 seems a little high. Either way, she's outlived it.
She's on borrowed time, and she's on extra innings.
Extra time. Yeah.
Extra innings for sure, because it's just like not contributing to the world in any way. You're literally just in the dugout.
Smoking cigarettes.
Smoking and petting your cat, and like you're not hitting any balls, you're not fielding,
No.
like you are just there until the game is over. To like sit and eat fucking whatever. What do you have? The seeds?
The seeds, yeah. Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Yep, a lot of
petting
gum.
The cat,
a lot of
smoking,
gum.
chew.
Putting your hat on inside out, doing that whole
buying
shit.
Some stuff, concessions.
Yeah.
Buying a lot of things.
By the way, I like how you dropped that reference on it's opening day of baseball.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. In reference to grandma's dying.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
The two are very similar.
Yeah.
Grandmother's dying in baseball, nothing
Right.
like both are
Nothing
America's
like it.
pastimes.
Yeah. We all know it well.
But yeah, this weather, I know I've bitched about it. The only person to get it right was Punxsutawney Phil. Because we've been talking about this on the show for the last 3 months, how cold it is. Punxsutawney Phil was the only one who said 6 more weeks of winter, and we were like, oh, great.
We're like, fuck you.
So what I'm saying, to sum this up before we get to our sponsors, is this. If I had the choice between Punxsutawney Phil to live or Al Gore to live, I'm choosing Punxsutawney Phil.
Okay.
Because he's been correct this year.
Sure.
Al Gore hasn't done shit for me this year.
Right.
So he can rest in peace. I'm done with the Al Gore bullshit this year and the docs and the whole fucking thing.
Ed Begley, now he walks the walk.
Who is
Ed Begley Jr.?
The actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is full on, like, the real deal. His house is like, he pedals a bike to like generate the water and like all solar, all everything.
Really?
Like, yeah. Prius is like as far as he will go, as far as like buying something that it's not like a bike.
Sure. I do want to say this about Ed Begley Jr. Two of my best friends, Adam Beamer and Evan Beamer, worked with Ed Begley Jr. a few times. They said he's the greatest guy on the planet too.
Yeah. I met him like a really long time
guy.
ago because he obviously made some trips to Ojai.
Oh, of course.
Because he's Ed Begley.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you want to go if you're Ed Begley? Ojai. Everyone's going to like treat you like a messiah. But yeah, he was just cool as shit.
Yeah, they said, other actors, like if it went into overtime, whatever, Ed Begley didn't give a fuck. Whereas these people who had never done shit were just bitching, and Ed Begley's like, hey, who cares? And they were like, he's one of those guys you can't hire enough. And I have those guys too on my side. So I want to work with Ed Begley Jr. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about Sigs Inside. We got a fucking huge show today, which is awesome. And we're going to talk about your side pony. Yeah, boom, there it is. We're going to talk about your Fringe. Yeah, Should I put
these on? Listen, should I like? You guys need to watch the video.
The
show,
video
right?
show, yeah.
Like this is the kind of stuff you're gonna get.
Jessie's Fringe is out of control.
I want to give a little plug.
Go ahead.
To Santa Paula Trading Company in Santa Paula, California.
Okay.
Right next to Ventura. My friend Sierra Hall opened up the store. It's fucking amazing. It has shit like this, you guys.
Yeah.
You cannot find anywhere else. And would you want to? I don't know. I do.
Well, some would say no.
She called me up and was like, I have a jacket that has your name on it. And I was like, what? And when I saw it, I said, you know me.
Yeah.
You know me.
You said, boom, boom. I said,
let me
say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's my sponsor for the day.
There she
is. Go
is.
check them out.
Beautiful.
It's actually a really fucking awesome store. And if you are around Ventura, Santa Barbara, LA, like go check it out. Santa Paula Trading Company. It's fucking amazing. Go ahead. Go with our sponsor.
It's the Jables way. First and foremost, Black Rifle Coffee. Talking about their apparel. To start off with, gangbanging that every goddamn day. I love it. It fits great. Their designs are fucking cool as shit. And I don't give enough shine to their mugs. We use these mugs every day at our like real house in real life too, like off of this set. They're incredible. The handmade mugs, they look like they're made in in an Adobe somewhere.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
They're fucking incredible.
They're handmade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like they're custom
and they're limited,
made
They only make like 100 a piece, and then they make a new design, and those are dope as shit. I don't have enough of those. I got to get more of those. Fucking amazing. But their coffee's second to none, and they've got a coffee subscription of the month club, a coffee club, if you will. I enjoy the Just Black and the caffeinated as fuck. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use the one-time promo code of Revolution for 20% off. Just get this shit shipped to your house on the same date every month. Trust me, it'll save you like miles of time out of your day to go to Costco and all that other shit. I love it. Can't say enough nice things about blackriflecoffee.com. Again, promo code one-time use. It's a one-time use. They're getting huge. Revolution, 20% off. Next up, we got a little Strikeforce Energy.com.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Bazoinker?
Bazoinkers.
Bazoinkers.
Oh, James.
Oh,
James.
Her mind is like a steel trap filled with knowledge and intelligence. She remembers everything and knows everything.
No. What's the opposite of that? Like you're a step away from just banging utensils on a table to communicate. Nell, you're a young Nell.
Tay in the wind. Tay in the wind. You've seen Nell enough. If you're gonna reference Nell,
not enough. I've seen it once. I've seen Nell once.
Have you seen it enough to know Tay in the Wind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know that. My question is this: you've seen Nell more than one time?
Yeah.
That's the worst movie. I mean, it's a good film, but it's one you watch once and never ever revisit again. It's kind of like Temple Grandin. You're not going back and being like,
no, it's not like Temple Grandin. It's
fire up the Temple Grandin DVD. Let's get back into it.
No, it's like she wasn't retarded. She was just raised by
the
wolves.
Forest. Yeah. No, I get all that. It's a hard movie to watch more than one time.
Tay in the Wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tay in the Wind.
I think that's Tree in the Wind.
Whatever.
Forget.
Either way. I don't recommend Nell. I do recommend Strikeforce Energy. They've got 4 amazing flavors: original, lemon, orange, and Make America Grape Again. They got a 750 milliliter bottle that rests on your bar top or countertop, and you can boom, pop a couple squirts in and fucking go. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. That's good every time. They ship everywhere in the entire world. And these little boxes are only $9.95. So check it out with fucking 20% off. It's like $8. Fuck it and party. StrikeforceEnergy.com, promo code REVOLUTION, 20% off. Next up, we got StraightRazors.com. Ooh.
That was a
Straight
sharp one.
razors.
That was a sharp one.
I don't think I ever pulled this little guy out enough, but this little guy, these are brushes to put on like shaving cream. They got razors. They got shampoos, conditioners, everything you need to be a real fucking man. They've got the finest shaving products in the biz. They're almost too nice for this show. Somebody bought a razor kit the other day from them, and they said, "Hey, these are like really nice." I thought it was gonna be like Dollar Shave, like shitty, and I was like, "No, it's super nice."
Like it's a whole nother world.
And they were like, I think it's too nice for you, Russ." And I was like, "Oh, well,
that's fair.
It's fair. Fair enough.
It's fair.
Fair enough.
You're heard.
Yeah, it's like the classiest sponsor of all time.
Yeah.
And that look, their Smolder aftershave. Try a bottle of their aftershave. You won't regret it. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Their shampoos and conditioners are amazing. Smolder across the board. Their cologne is my favorite as well. Go to straightrazors.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. And that's a fucking huge ass deal on their site. Last but not least, we got the Caillou app. Kayu. This one's free. It's the new social media jam with Facebook tanking into the shitter.
Yeah. We got to find new and more meaningful ways to connect with people.
Yeah, and hang out. Like Caillou's doing it. They're putting people together, and you get to swipe like Tinder, so you can see who you're hanging out with, see what the ratings are. This app combines travel, vacation, hangout, meetup, all of that shit, and you can split the cost for things and find out who these people actually are instead of looking at like a Facebook page where it's like a quote from Jesus or the Bible on there, and you're like, I don't know who that person is. I know we have a mutual friend, but this one, it's actually like rating people, so you can go and check it out. This one's free, kids. You don't have to do shit. Just go to your iPhone or Android. Caillou, boom, that's it. No strings attached. Kayu. The dudes are Green Berets, too, out of Fort Bragg. So anything we can do to help veteran-owned companies, we do. And big fan of those guys at Caillou. Michael Squires is his name.
That's a great name.
I know. It's sweet, isn't it?
Dang.
It fits like a fucking badass Green Beret guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dope. Anyways, get a Caillou. Download the app for free on your phone. Where do we begin? There's been so many crazy interviews the last couple of days that I don't even know where to start. I wasn't lying when I said this is a huge show. It's a huge show. You had the Stormy Daniels interview on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Which, oh boy. I don't know where to start with this. Do I believe that it probably went down? Yes.
Sure. Yes,
I do.
Yes.
Do I believe Trump fucked porn stars 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
As do Bill Clinton and probably every fucking president, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
I remember when...
Kennedy for sure.
Well, yeah. But I remember Bush Sr. too got popped for sexual harassment, grabbing people's asses during pictures and all that shit. And they had that picture of him and he had to say an apology that it was an off-color joke. This shit has been going on for fucking ever. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Imagine what he got into back in the day before Nance came around.
Nan.
Yeah. And I watched this interview with Anderson Cooper, and I put a tweet up about it afterwards that a lot of people responded to, where I just said, after watching it, I don't know who I feel worse for on this. It's definitely not Stormy Daniels. I think it's Anderson Cooper, where he used to be the wars and hurricanes guy. Like, he was my dude, winning Emmys in the storm, making a difference in the world. He's a fucking Vanderbilt, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Now he's interviewing porn stars. Like, that's what I do on Drinking Bros.
Right.
Like, that's
all because he just wants to be that. Like, he used to be the guy that wanted to, like, get in the storm and be there right when that exact bomb hit. The biggest one. Now he wants to be the one to take Trump down, right? So he wants to be the one that has that interview or that thing or whatever that's going to take him down. And his quest for that has taken him into some pretty sad places. Dark
places. And he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to do this shit. I can't figure out whether he's doing it for himself at this point or to chase ratings, because this something like this is obviously a ratings chaser. It was the highest ratings that that 60 Minutes had in about 20 years. Everybody wanted to see this fucking thing, but it when you're interviewing a porn star, first of all, her eyes and her pupils were dilated to an nth level, where it had to be either coke or some type of methamphetamine or something.
Doesn't that go Penn?
It goes Penn with bright lights. So they showed Anderson Cooper's eyes, her eyes, and then the lawyer. The lawyer was on the show as well. Anderson Cooper and the lawyer's eyes, same light, same everything, are the same. Right. Hers are balsamic, where it's just like, all right, clearly she's on drugs. Okay. So it's hard to watch, and she's got these colored contacts in, and on top of it, and you're just like, all right, what the fuck is going on? And then to hear Anderson Cooper say, did the presidents wear a condom with you during intercourse? You're just like, oh boy. You're just watching his career go further and further down. He wasn't
the president at that point.
No, it wasn't the president at that point. And it's Anderson Cooper, where you're just like, man, are you really interviewing? Like, all this shit that Anderson Cooper rails against, and now you're interviewing a porn star on 60 Minutes on Sunday.
That you clearly didn't do, or maybe you did do a pre-interview and you were like, oh.
So with this, and out of the information that came out of this, it's kind of her word against his at this point, hers against the president's.
What's the wrongdoing, though?
The wrongdoing is that he was married at the time to Melania.
Oh.
But look, if I'm being reals here, just keeping it reals, he's Donald Trump. He's been married. This is his third marriage at this point. Let's face it, Melania, that's not probably somebody he's sitting there having long conversations with at night about the world. Super crazy hot, mind-altering hot. But you have to know, probably, is Melania going into that relationship what you're getting into, one would say?
Yeah, she thought she did.
Yeah, well,
she didn't think.
She didn't think he'd be president.
No.
But with all of the rest of that shit, and being around that country club lifestyle and those jet setters and Wall Street people, I would have to assume she's seen this for fucking 15 years at this point and probably just doesn't care.
Yeah, and this girl took the money, the hush money.
Yes.
So you're supposed to hush.
Yeah.
Right, though?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And she signed an NDA.
Yeah, that's how it
some
works.
of the signatures didn't match. Like, the whole fucking thing is weird. And what I found was that, because the next day you kind of check online to see what people were saying about it or whatever. No one cared.
Yeah. No
one cared. And the craziest thing is, I was at the gym yesterday, and CNN, look, is all hate Trump all day long, and that's fine. That's what they're building their ratings on, and
sure.
that's it. They had his approval rating up, and the guy seemed surprised when the number popped up on screen. that it was his highest that he's had since he took office. So it was just like, what's the reasoning behind it? And this is what I kept trying to think about after seeing that, where I was like, all right, what's the reason for that? And I think all of this shit every single day that you hear about the president is finally grinding on people enough to where they're like, man, this seems like a takedown job by the media every single day. And I think the people are fed up with it and they don't really care. The economy's doing great. All this other shit is doing. I just don't think people give a fuck anymore. The other thing that I think is going to harm the Democrats on this side of the media going in for 2020 is if his approval ratings are this high after a porn star came out and said he had sex with him in an adulterous relationship, what else? What could possibly take him down then? Right. You have the grab him by the pussy episode with Billy Bush. Yeah. Didn't do anything, and that was 10 days before the election. You had the Stormy Daniels thing during the presidency. You have the fucking Russia investigation. Right. Nothing's taking this guy down. Right. So if you're looking at this after this week and everything else that's gone on, and you're looking at towards 2020, which you should be, because the primaries are starting next year. You've got to look at this and say, what the fuck else do we have to do? Like, what do we do to stop this guy?
They just need to bring in a candidate that can go up against him. That's the only thing that they should be focusing on.
At this point, and I had this conversation.
No, they're not going to find any at this point because they've been dicking around.
I had this conversation at a dinner the other night, and there was a bunch of people listening to the show were asking me, and they were like, dude, you're Rostradamus. What's your prediction on this? And I was I literally said, I think at this point, it's Oprah or bust. To win, and that's it.
It's not going to happen. So I guess it's nobody.
I guess. So you never know. There could be an underlying person out there who's just like an Obama who comes out of nowhere.
I don't think there is one. I'm just saying the reason that they're not going to have one is because they're focusing their energy on porn stars in Russia, which I get it, man.
Yeah, it's great. Look,
Russia,
it is great for ratings.
Yeah.
Really great for ratings. Anything Trump is great for ratings, and that's fine. Yeah. But again, if you keep bitching about this, you will have nothing. So like after watching this interview, I felt the worst for Anderson Cooper. Yeah. The Trump thing, didn't care, probably knew it anyways. I would wager to say Trump has been famous for a long time and rich for a long time and rolling with that crowd for a long, long time at this point. The shit that they've probably gotten into. Rolling with that crowd. Well, you know that crowd where it's just like the rich hang out with the rich. They do all this fucked up shit around the world. I guarantee you he's, had fucking threesomes, foursomes, you name it. He's probably done it. Yeah. So that would not surprise me either. Yeah. So is everybody else just kind of numb to it like me, where it's just like, it's probably who he was?
Yeah, because that just seems the way he is. Like I've always said, we just don't like hypocrites, right? So he doesn't claim to not be that type of person. No. And we believe that his wife kind of knows what she's gotten into, and we're all kind of like, you make the bed. Yeah. So I mean, she doesn't make the bed, but you know what I'm saying? Metaphorically, you make the bed.
He makes the bed, actually. He makes his own bed every day. Crazy.
So she's in a relationship where she doesn't even have to make the bed. Yeah. So she's good.
Barely speaks English. Like, I think she knew what she got into.
She good. So that's how it's not like they're these, it's not like Pence. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Where like, now, if he did that, it would be like, oh my God, it would. You're like this, Christian fucking homosexual.
Yeah. You think he's gay?
I think so. I think he's, which is fine. I just think he's gone to a conversion camp, a couple of them. Sure. To try and get the gay out of him.
Yeah. When you call your wife mother, it's, it's a red flag.
Yeah. And I'm, that's fine. It's just, don't go so hard at the gays, because that's a telltale as well.
Yeah, it is.
They teach you at the camps.
It really is.
Be a total homophobic.
Yeah. Super over the top.
So if Pence did that, or if anything, even if his homosexual shit comes out, we knew.
Yeah, we knew.
We knew. So it's like you present the way that you are. So everything that's coming out is exactly on brand.
Right.
So we're okay with that. It's when you start going Eminem on us, right? That we don't like that.
I think you cracked the code today. You're right. All of this stuff, porn star, everything else, you're on brand. You're right.
On brand. If it's, what would make us be like, that's what you have to think about. Like, what would be hypocritical for Trump? What would be off brand for Trump that would make us be like, I don't know.
I don't know at this point. I don't know. If he had, just like if he was driving a bus full of Mexicans, illegal Mexicans over the border, maybe. Like
there
that would
you
be
go.
the last
There you go. Yes. Something like that, where it's like his whole platform is built on this, right? And then it's like he's doing this one thing, or they have pictures of him back in the day,
just
partying
hanging
in
out in Mexico
with like Mexican dudes.
True,
let's go there. Yeah,
true caballeros.
Working.
What do you
with
call
them?
them? Rancheros.
I call them rancheros, just like the huevos, because I know. What did Lindsay tell us it was? Caballeros?
Yeah, caballeros, I think.
I learned something, Lindsay.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
I hear you guys,
Lindsay
okay?
Haney?
Yeah, I hear you guys, okay?
That's really fucking funny.
You're heard.
And look, to this point, talk about staying on brand. So Sean Penn goes on Stephen Colbert. He wrote a fiction novel.
Oh.
About assassinating the president, whatever.
Sure, fiction. I go to the bookstore and move them all to nonfiction.
He goes to Colbert, shows up, hair disheveled, starts off immediately the interview by saying, look, I'm kind of jet lagged and I took an Ambien, so
great.
I might have some residual effects of Ambien on it.
Great.
On brand.
I love it. It's like your Derek
On
White
brand.
episode.
Oh,
you guys both go, listen, I just want to get it out there in the beginning.
Yeah.
I've been drinking since 3.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Which I love, but go ahead.
Same. On brand. Both Derek and Sean Penn.
Samesies.
Sean Penn then proceeds 30 seconds into this interview on Colbert, which is on CBS. Fires up a fucking heater, lights up a cigs inside, starts smoking inside, and you could tell there was a twinge of shock in Colbert's eyes, where it was just like, oh, I was unaware that he was definitely going to smoke. Somebody probably told them in the pre-interview of like, hey man, Sean's gonna probably smoke, so if you want to have an ashtray out for him. But I would say in no way did Colbert actually think he was probably going to do it, because
that's the kind of famous I want to be. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, because you haven't seen someone smoke cigarettes on television for years at this point. I think it's a $250,000 or $500,000 fine. Also, you're not allowed to smoke.
Well, who's Chappelle?
So the network's going to have to pay for it.
It's very jarring, right?
When
you see Chappelle like in his show doing it,
in his stand-up show, yeah.
But it's still very jarring to be like, oh my god, he's just
smoking in an arena
on my screen, right?
Yeah, it's weird because you're conditioned to not seeing it,
not anymore.
And the fines are so heavy. With Chappelle, he's on Netflix. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah,
and that's a different setting.
That doesn't exist. They're not going to fine you.
I'm just saying it feels weird.
Sean Penn on a talk show is just like, so much so, in fact, that after his second heater, because he fired up another one, and mind you, if you're the main guest on a talk show, your segments usually go about 8 minutes total.
Not a long time.
If you go back and do, if they ask you for 2 segments, you're looking at 12 to 14 tops. But there's a commercial break in between that where you can smoke. Letterman was infamous for smoking cigars during the commercial breaks. Ooh. And he kept it under the desk. So he kept an ashtray under the desk with a stogie, put it out, relit it, and that was his jam. So you have the option to smoke during the breaks. Okay. He's in the same studio as Letterman was. Fine. I don't know what compels you to be like, man, I cannot get through this interview without smoking 2 heaters.
Penn is at, huh?
It's on brand.
That's where he's at. And you know, Colbert is very much like he's like this Maryland like buttoned up.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
In real life.
He's like gingham, Sperry's.
Yeah. Dorky.
I'm trying to like find
middle-aged white guy.
Find the name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So after the second heater, Colbert was just like, hey man, I'm not going to say smoking's I'm not going to tell you to stop smoking. I'm not going to say how terrible it is. It is bad for you. And he goes, you know, the smell of cigarette smoke, my grandparents used to smoke inside, or my parents, or whatever he said. And he goes, you know, even smelling that now, it brings me back to happier times, but I also know it might kill you.
Sure.
So he goes, have you ever thought about quitting because it's bad for you? And Sean Penn was like, no, just trying to keep my oncologist with a job, you know, trying to keep him, you know, working. Funny. And it was like, oh, okay. Sean Penn is out of fucks. So by you starting that dialogue, Colbert, you had to know where that was going with Sean Penn.
I like it. I have to say I like it. Like, I really do.
I don't like Sean Penn, but I like the fact that he doesn't give a fuck.
Why don't you like Sean Penn?
After watching that doc with Homegirl.
Yeah.
The Colombian doc, how he, you know, smidged his way in and...
How he fucked over your girlfriend? You were in love with that girl.
Who?
The main girl on that.
That's not my...
Champagne.
Yeah, that's not my jam, that girl. But
okay. But so what his big fault in that is using her to get...
Not only did he use her, but he took El Chapo down. Like, El Chapo's in jail. So,
and you didn't like that he took El Chapo down?
No, I feel that if it's going to be someone, it should be somebody from not Sean fucking Penn. Like Sean Penn's whole thing of, I'm Che Guevara. I hang out with Hugo Chavez and I interviewed Fidel Castro and when it was illegal to go to Cuba and all that shit. Right. But then you get El Chapo arrested. Like, fuck off, bro. I don't subscribe to that.
Okay.
So. Your whole Viva the Revolution thing is fine, but when it takes somebody down, then it's, you know, he can say whatever he wants, but...
Are you saying Chapo did not deserve to be taken down?
He did, just not in that way.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of a bitch way. Like Billy the Kid, who got shot in the back. And you're just like, come on, man. Wild Bill Hickok shot in the back at playing poker, where you're just like,
so it doesn't matter how bad of a man you are. You still want them to be taken down in a respectable way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there should be some honor among thieves. That's what I think. And I think Sean Penn's a thief. Like, I think he's stolen a lot of shit.
Of hearts, I know. What?
Yeah, he's still living that life.
Still like that's HGH for sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's got that like bulged
shredded
out. But the little bit of a hard bloated belly.
Yeah.
To where it's like everything else is super ripped. And then it's like a little keg.
Sean Penn reminds me of the type of guy that if the alarm goes off at 12:30 in the afternoon, he's just like, that's still too early.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And then but he leans over out of bed, hair mess, and then just fires up a heater in his house. Like he's the 12:30 wake up guy in the afternoon who's firing up a heater just to start his fucking day.
Sure.
You know? And I'm sure there's some debate when he walks into his kitchen to make some coffee and he stares at that half drank bottle of tequila of whether or not he should have a shot before the coffee or just something to knock off whatever's going on.
To get it going.
That's what I see on him. Therefore, him taking down El Chapo, like, come on, bro.
On brand.
It's not on brand.
Come on. Brand. He doesn't give a fuck.
He does give a fuck.
He moves freely.
No, he cared about the El Chapo thing. And I don't know if you heard about that jury who's trying him now. This is the first time I've ever heard this in a case. They're all anonymous?
Anonymous.
Yeah, so you can't see them or know their names? Like...
Oh, well, for sure out there.
Has that happened? No, it's here. It's in America.
Yeah, but El Chapo is... they may have done something like that in like the mob cases back in the day because they could get killed.
Killed, yeah.
So that's their whole thing is that they have a big network of people to like kill you wherever you're at.
Right.
So for sure they probably couldn't get anybody to sit on the jury without letting them know that no one would know who they are.
Right. Yeah, I look at the El Chapo thing with, again, like it should have been the government or the police, somebody like that, rather than Sean fucking Penn. Like, Sean Penn has lived as an outlaw.
But nobody could get to him. Nobody could get to him. He would like lift up the bathtub and
that's everybody else's problem.
Go down the tunnel.
Yeah, he's got a 9-mile tunnel underneath the
Yeah.
bathtub. Good for him. You know how long it took him to build that goddamn tunnel underneath the bathtub? Like, whatever. Let him fucking live his life, dude. Like let the authorities take them down. Again, I don't agree with
No.
stabbing people in the back of
like
these little bitch tactics.
Yeah, that feels like a snitch. Like
snitch. Snitch move. I don't like snitch moves. I'm not a snitch. They end up in ditches. So
sure.
Again, if Sean Penn ends up in a ditch,
or most likely with stitches.
I'd say what if he ends up in a ditch. Dead, Sean Penn. You and I will do a show to it. We will buy. You have my word on this. We'll dedicate a whole show to Sean Penn, his life, his career.
I'd love it.
And then we'll do shots of tequila. Like
his
warm tequila or whatever it is.
Yes, he does. He does love an agave.
Yeah. And we'll just do that.
He does love a mezcal.
And talk about Sean Penn's life because this one, I'm surprised he's not dead now. Again, I've said this before, but I'm surprised he's not dead now. The other one that was fucking wild was this Tiffany Haddish interview, who doesn't give a fuck either. Like she's very funny in interviews. I think she's a very funny actress. I don't enjoy her stand-up that much, and I don't get it. But she's a good actress, comedic actress. And she's great in interviews and to sit and chat with. She's cool. But she's told this fucking story yesterday where she was at a party and with a bunch of famous celebrities, and another famous actress came up and bit Beyonce on the face at this party. And everybody's trying to guess who this celebrity is. Chrissy Teigen said, I know who it is. And she's not saying, she was like, look, if Beyonce wants to get into it, that's fine. But
what's your guess?
Of who the celebrity is?
I'm thinking like crazy chick, right? Crazy chick that would be hanging out with all of them, that just like parties and thinks it's fucking funny.
I don't know. I don't know on this one who it would be.
Okay.
Because I don't know who Beyonce rolls with, like, or what type of party she's at. Like that's one of those celebrities that you don't see out at your typical parties.
No, she'll go to like the private stuff. Like I know she was
but like ultra private, where you're just like, oh, I didn't hear about that party, or like an Oscar party or something. Like I could see her going to one Oscar party, like the Vanity Fair party, and that's about it, or something.
Maybe, like I said, she goes to like exclusive invite.
Yeah, where it's
only stuff. Where it's like Chris Martin had a birthday party and she was like
right, but at the house.
Yeah.
Not a party where it's like, oh hey, we got loose at backstage at the EDM or something like that, EDM festival. So I can't peg down who that would be and where. And also, as an actor, you know this, like the face is off limits.
We don't bite
all the time.
We don't bite.
Not only that, you don't even get that close.
No,
like, it's a couple brief kisses. Even if maybe you're touching skin, but probably not, because you don't want to fuck up somebody's makeup or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know who would cross the line.
Leslie something. Who's that girl from Saturday Night Live?
Oh, Leslie Jones, Les Dog? No, I don't. No way. I don't see her doing it.
Okay.
I don't see her doing it. But it led me to think about it. I was like, man, you don't hear too many stories like this anymore, because everybody's so fucking guarded and there's so many cell phones and all this shit. You don't hear things like this anymore. And it led me to think of like, what's the craziest celebrity story that I've been involved with that nobody knows, where I saw somebody go way off the deep end and get super fucked up.
What?
Do you have one of these?
Celebrity stories?
Yeah.
No, I'm not really famous.
Not that. I'm not saying you're famous, but when you've seen a celebrity at a party do something super fucked up and you were like, holy shit, I can't believe so-and-so did this. I'll share mine. You think about yours, I'll share mine real quick, because I'll never forget this.
I may not share mine.
Okay. Whoa.
Listen, it's
you don't have to say
honor among thieves. No.
You're right.
No,
which
go
is
ahead,
why
go
I'm
ahead,
not
go
gonna
ahead.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Of course not, but go ahead.
I'm not gonna say his name, but I'll tell you the story. And at the time of, I wouldn't say he's that he's on the downslope of fame right now. But at the time, he was super mega famous. Holy shit! Like everybody knew who he was. And a friend of mine, we were at one of those fucking clubs that's attached to a hotel. Mm. And what would happen is if you knew you were going to get fucked up in like super VIP, they would give you a hotel or you could just get a room for the night there. Yeah. And that's kind of what we did. And so afterwards they were like, hey, we're going to go up to so-and-so's room or whatever and party or whatever after the bar closes. The bar, last call at these bars in LA. It's very pussy-ish. It's like 1:30. You got to get out of there.
Right.
We were at the Mondrian Hotel, which is attached to Sky Bar.
Okay.
Which is still going on to this day and people are still partying there. But back in the day, it was like ultra, like fucking hard to get in and you had to be famous and all that bullshit.
Is it the Standard now or it's still there?
No, the Standard is still there. It's Standard's about maybe, I don't know, a half mile down the road. Okay. So anyways, the Mondrian is still there. Gorgeous views. Overlooks all of LA, a pool, the whole shit. Awesome. I got banned there for a year one time. And
I think we know that story.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I told that story before. So this was maybe 3 years after that. I go back and my buddy's just like, hey, I can't find so-and-so, this celebrity that my other friends was friends with. And I was like, oh, well, he's not at the room because everybody's going back to the room to this party or whatever. Right. And he goes, no. And I was like, well, isn't it his room? And he goes, yeah, and everybody's partying there, but I can't find him. And I was like, all right, cool. What do you want me to do? And he's just like, man, he's been doing a lot of fucking drugs lately. And if you could help me find him, that would be awesome. And I was like, all right, man, fuck. Like, I don't know where this is going to lead. I get in the elevator and get off at a floor, look out on this, all the way around this floor. Nothing. Can't find him, whatever. Get back in the elevator, go down one more floor. Same thing, can't find him. Get down one more floor, and a group of girls comes walking in, and they're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was just like, oh, hey, you guys look like super stunned or shocked. I was like, are you guys okay? Because that was my first initial thought. They were like, yeah, but there's a man naked on our floor, and he's kind of running around the hallways right now. And I was like, who is it? Did you recognize him by any chance? And they were like, it looked like the guy from X, this
Dang it.
thing. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, are you sure he's naked? And they were like, he is buck naked, like not wearing any clothes, just running around. And I was like, well, what's he doing? And they were like, he's just making like
oh no,
weird
bath
faces
salts.
at people.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah. And I knew what kind of drugs he's on. So you're getting close to bath salts at that point. It's probably like meth or something. And I was just like,
sure.
Which I don't get down on. Nor should anyone, to be honest with you. I was like, oh God. So I looked at my buddy and I was like, hey man, my buddy's a bigger guy. And I looked at him and I was like, hey man, he was closer to this guy than I was friend wise. And I was just like, this is your boy. What are we going to do with this? Like, cause he's all hopped up on shit. And if he's running around buck naked, what are we going to do? And like, I don't want to be involved in a photo of me grabbing this guy buck naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to have I think Accepted or something was about to come out at the time. And I was like, what the fuck is this going to look like if I'm grabbing this guy, naked man in a hotel,
right?
Like
probably oiled up,
carrying him out of a hotel floor, buck naked. Like, what's this gonna look like for me? Like, did this guy gonna fight with my gay lover, and it's this guy?
Yeah. The speculation,
because this guy was so good looking. Everybody's asked if he's gay, and he's not. But it's one of those things where you're like, all right, cool. So we get off the hotel thing, and we're walking around the entire floor again. Can't find this guy, and I'm like, man, that's weird. And the doors are locked, and I was like, he didn't get another room. He's got to be here or in the fire, like the fire stairs, the stairwell or whatever. And I was just like, we checked the stairwell, nothing. And I was like, fuck, that's weird. You know how things were built into the wall? Like there was boxes, like they had pictures or vases or they had ledges that you could that you could be on. It turned out we had passed him. He had taken the vase. He was buck naked, sitting inside the box, like in the wall. And he was holding the vase.
God.
Between his legs, and the flowers were coming out of it.
He thought he was so clever.
Yes. And I was just like, oh my God. So I was like, hey, bro, like I passed him and I was like, holy shit. And he looked over and he's like, like this. And I was like, oh my God. Why was he that calm and patient at that time? Or like, had he found his place that he needed to be? I didn't know. Right. Either way, I had to get him out of there before these girls went down to the lobby, either told the front desk and called the police or whatever was going to happen. And I was like, we got to get this guy to his room. So we're like, hey, you got to come out of here or whatever. My buddy's talking him out of the wall that he's sitting in.
Sure.
Because he's sitting in it, like just cupped up, arms around his legs, vase between his legs, these fake flowers. And we're like, look, just put the vase over your dick and balls and we'll just go in, say that you went to the pool.
Right.
We'll say that we went to the pool. All we have to do is just get you to your room and you're good to go. I can make a joke about it once we get inside the party and everything will be fine.
Fine.
And it took 15, 20 minutes to coax him out of that. Finally got him up to the room. Came in, made the joke to the room. Ha ha ha, laughter, laughter, laughter. My buddy put him in the bathroom, got some clothes on him or whatever. Started hanging out. More drugs came out, and I was just like, I'm out of here. Like I'm good to go on this whole sitch.
Right.
Later, I heard 2 hours later, around 4:30 in the morning that night. Not only was he buck naked again out in the hallways, but he was just punching holes through walls, and security was called.
Is this person like a well-known drug user?
No.
Okay.
No. And I think that's why it happened, where he just couldn't handle his shit and it was probably too much too soon. Okay. I think the immediate fame that he was going through at the time, he just wasn't equipped for that either. So it was.
It's always weird.
Yeah, and you wonder how it happens to people, where you're like, oh, what the fuck? I got to see it firsthand with him, and I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
And did it affect his career?
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, I would say 2 years after that, his career started to go off the rails. I heard
Probably
he got cleaned.
More stories like that.
Yeah, he got cleaned up. I know this, and he got another shot at another TV show, and it was a spiral.
I hate not knowing.
After that, I'll tell you after the show, but it was a spiral after that. But I'll never forget seeing somebody built into the wall, buck naked,
and really,
with a vase between their legs.
You really were foiled again. I mean, you didn't see him.
No, I didn't see him.
So it worked.
Here's the beauty of it, is I walked right by it.
Yeah, no,
but
you've
been to that hotel numerous times. Like, they have weird shit like that. And so does the Standard. Remember the Standard just used to have two naked chicks?
Yeah.
Sitting behind the reception desk?
Yeah. You could definitely just like get in a silhouette and people would think that you were like part of the
display or the
weird modern
the
decor.
Exhibit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
when
that, because that's what I call it. It was an exhibit. It's like, what the fuck else are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
And I knew like one of those people at the Standard, because they had these nude models that would sit inside that glass cube behind when you check in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey man, what are you getting an hour here? You know, it's like $25 an hour. And I was like, $25 to be buck naked for like 8 hours a day. And you're in this glass cube. You can't eat or drink in there.
Oh, you don't get a break.
You get a break, but I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works.
So you never had a celebrity run in like that, where something super fucked up, where you're just like, Jesus, man.
No.
All right. I don't know if I believe you on that.
Well, you're going to have to believe me.
The look you just gave me was...
You're going to have to believe me. That's a no. That's a no. You know, I'm just not... I don't run in the same circles as you and Beyonce, so I don't...
I'm not in the Beyonce circle.
No, I know. I'm from LA, so of course I've seen some shit.
I'm not in the Beyonce circle. I've been to a couple of those events that you're talking about where you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe this is going down. Like I went to one of Puff Daddy's white parties, those infamous white parties.
Oh, did you?
And it was fucking awesome. Like believe the hype on that shit. It was the greatest, one of the great, probably the greatest parties I've ever been to. I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is incredible.
Yeah. I think they're in the Hamptons now, right?
I think, yeah. He had it out in LA. It was for it was an after party for the MTV Movie Awards. And he bought out this mansion, Ron Burkle, I think was his name.
I thought you were going to say Burgundy.
No. Yeah. But Ron Burkle he used to be married to Ellen Barkin.
Okay.
Finances fucking everything that you can imagine under the sun. Movie-wise, life-wise, app-wise, all that shit. Gorgeous mansion. And Puff Daddy still wanted to keep the white theme in an outdoor party. So he bought white carpet and put it over this guy's fucking lawn. I mean, it was all the way across, all the way through the party. It was amazing. And at the end of it, like, because this is when you could smoke inside on that shit. People were smoking and all of that shit. And he's just like, yo, you can just put it out on the carpet. Like, it's got to go after this anyway. So, like, you get through, like, red wine.
So many levels of fame happening here that I, like, aspire to, right?
Yeah. And at the end of the nights, like, as it wind down, there was, like, a noise ordinance in this neighborhood. And it was late. I mean, they let the party go till, like, 4 or 5 in the morning in this neighborhood, which I was shocked. Yeah. I was like, shit, I would not want 200 people there. In my neighborhood this late. In a neighborhood
you think
that
about
rich.
Those parties like Hollywood Hills and stuff, it's like the people that are next to them most likely are like old money, old
and
Jews.
It's valet. You're hearing this fucking.
They're like, no. I don't care who you are.
You're hearing this shit.
Puffy.
And like, at the end of the night, like I would say like an hour left in the party, they had to get rid of all this liquor too, because he was just like, oh, I'm not taking it back. So he got behind the bar, Puff Daddy, and just started handing out bottles of Cristal to everyone. So we each had our own individual bottle of champagne. And I was just like, oh my God, life will never be greater than this.
Right.
And it's true.
It's true. Yeah. You will never have.
When you see shit like that where you just do not care, like when you see people who just don't care about money at all, you're like, holy fuck, your life must be amazing. And it is. It is just as amazing as you think it is, where you're just like, holy shit, he's telling people to put cigarettes out on the carpet. Like, because the carpet's got to go. See, he's giving away liquor because it's got to go. Like, he can't take it home. And you're just like, holy shit. So when you see people like this celebrity I was talking about earlier, fuck it up like that, you're like, man, it's never going to get better than this. Like, just mind your P's and Q's, man, and keep your fucking shit together. Keep your drug game tight. Keep your drinking game tight. Like, don't fuck it up by being buck naked in a hallway at a hotel room. Oh boy. And I'm angry about that.
I never quite understand that, where it's like the fame, could not handle the fame. And it's like, yeah, I guess, but there was like an underlying problem that was happening before the fame, right?
I think, or you have this wherever you're from, whatever small town you came from. Like a lot of people, in my experience, are in LA or trying to be an actor to get famous, to get back at someone. It's not for the reasons you think it is. So when they do get famous, they realize, oh my God, it doesn't. That hole I was trying to fill by getting famous wasn't really filled after all, and I've still got my own fucked up problems because whatever went on. Right. And I would say that's, if I had to put a percentage on it, probably 90% of the people that want to get famous is to get back at somebody or to show somebody you did something. Whereas I was there simply, I just want to make cool shit for the world and like aggressive shit.
I mean, it's a bonus if like people.
It is. Look, it's always a bonus to be fucking famous, to get, tables and cool shit or whatever. Yeah. But if you don't have a good support base of like family and friends and all that stuff, you're kind of fucked. Yeah. After it all happens to you. I
thankfully have like a dad that's not really like impressed by anything, not in a bad way.
Right.
It's not like it's not like this.
Yeah, your dad
thing.
It's
not like this thing we need to talk about, but it's like, as far as like what we do, like in this industry, like there's some people, and I think there's a lot of dads actually that are just like, okay,
yeah,
that's cool, but can you
Yeah. Can you
make a perfect burger?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know what I mean? And then he's like so excited.
Sure.
So I think that I could handle it.
Yeah.
If it happened,
you'd be fine.
I'd be fine because I have people that are like,
Yep.
nah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What else are you doing? Or no, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You didn't see it.
Yep.
You didn't see the one thing that I've ever done. Okay. Yeah, because it's just like,
Yeah, but I would say, again, 90% of those people, and that's what it is. And like, I've seen massive, friends who are like A-list stars where you're just like, I've seen them miserable crying in public places where the money was never good enough. The fame was never good enough. Like, it just wasn't. And with this one in particular, I would say the same where, all the stuff that he thought it was going to fill didn't fill. And he appeared to be still miserable.
And it's also like, if you do like to drink, like I know a little bit when we were like doing the festival circuits and Sundance and stuff, like back in the day for me, like if you do like to drink and party, like it ends up being your only job.
Yeah.
So your only job is to party and network. And if you are smart and dorky and a square, you really are able to do it right? You don't like drink too much. You're like there just for the professional, talk to who you can talk to.
Sure.
If you like to party, then you find the other people at the party that are fucking
cool
and they're down and like they're not going to help you in any way.
No.
So you like party with them. You're missing the opportunities to network, which is awful. But I think there's that aspect to it too, where you don't have a real job. Your job is to go out to dinners, to drinks, to go to these parties, dinners, to go to premieres, to show your face at these things. And so I think that is more of the problem. Yeah. It's not the like fame. It's the like, you don't have any real structure to be like, you have to get up at this time. Like, no, you need to go to the party.
Right.
That's your job.
Right.
And it's up to you to handle it. Hell no.
Yeah. Hell no.
Not for me. Not for me. I didn't do I had a great time. And the people that I was partying with we all had a great time. No one was helping anyone get anywhere.
No, absolutely not.
But Sundance was super fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast.
Who do you really meet at Sundance that can help you? They're all there partying too.
It's one of those things too where it's
you don't end up naked in the hallway, but you're not.
Who's really going to help you anyways? Where you still have to get going. If you're an actor, you still have to audition. If you're a musician, somebody's still got to listen to your fucking music. Like, if you're a painter, somebody's still got to see your artwork. At a party, none of that is achievable.
Yeah, and I think I made the mistake sometimes, or when I first got there, of like, taking the card and being like, okay, and then having it be that person was drunk or they don't remember who I was. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like sleep with them or hang out with them anymore or whatever. So it's like that wasn't a real connection. So I'm just like, well, fuck it. I'll just party. Like one here, everyone here is here for themselves. They're here to look like, they're wanting to find someone. So if I can't help you, they don't want to talk to me.
No, they don't. They don't, Jables.
Wait a minute. Don't keep saying they don't.
They definitely don't want to talk to you.
Don't keep saying how much they don't want to talk to me.
It's more you. I think that's what we're finding. I think it was what we're finding. You know what else is fucking grinding my gears today?
Tell me.
This new census thing people are having a fucking meltdown about?
What?
They do a census every, 8 years or whatever it is. Just try to gauge what the population is. Not only for tax reasons, but for energy. Gas, oil, like, what everybody's going to use, how much space is going to be taken up, housing, you name it. The census is important to see how many people live in America. There is going to be a citizenship question on the census.
Okay.
Which there should be.
Sure.
People are in a fucking outrage. California is suing Trump for having a citizenship question on there, saying it's unfair to immigrants and workers, undocumented workers, about whether or not you're a citizen of the United States. It's the fucking census. The census, the only thing about the census...
We're just trying to get a sense.
A sense
of what's going on.
Of how many people actually live in this country.
Sure.
They're saying, oh, the immigrants will be scared. They'll be scared to answer. The undocumented workers will be scared to answer. We can't do this. We can't do this in California.
Well,
what?
Fair enough.
No.
Don't do it in California.
No.
No. But yeah.
Not fair enough.
That's actually the main
Not
place
only that,
you should be doing it.
But California needs its own census to figure out what their tax structure is going to be like. Mm-hmm. The fucking housing prices are crazy. The article that dropped right afterwards, after this, that I saw, was about the census of how they don't have enough houses being built now in Northern California. And so the real estate is jacked through the roof. The average median price in San Francisco was the first one. And then they started working down to like Silicon Valley and all this other shit. Mm. The average median for price for a home in San Francisco is $1.59 million. Average. The average houses that are available per month are about 34. The average offer is 6.6 per house, and it is like the final price of these houses is going up like an extra $100,000 to $200,000 simply because there isn't enough houses. So if you don't get one, you're fucked. Silicon Valley, keep going further down, like where Facebook is and shit like that. Cupertino, we're infamous for being on your iPhone, where Apple is and all that shit. Average median house price is $2.5 million. And they said the cheapest they found on like Zillow in San Francisco was $875,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo that is about 800 square feet, 775 square feet. And that's not including HOAs and taxes and all that other shit. This is why the census is so important. So now Northern California is bitching that the government isn't building enough housing to house all of these human beings. Either their commutes are going to be longer or the prices are just going to keep getting driven up through the fucking roof. Mm-hmm. This is why a census is important. If you don't know how many people are actually living in these cities or living in your state, then you don't know how much to put as far as, hey, development and housing is going forward in your own state. Same with the country. You don't know how much taxes you're bringing in or how much housing to build or money to put towards housing in these bills and in these spending bills. If you don't know who's living in this fucking country, the people who are bitching about in California about are you a citizen of the United States during the census on your fucking form that you fill out, go fuck yourself. That is the only thing that you have in this country to kind of help you. Yeah. This shit has gotten so out of control. Just cut California off. Let them be their own state. Let it go into Mexico. Yeah. Let it go right into Mexico. It was Mexico at some point.
When you're building the wall, just build it, just cut it up.
Right up the coast.
Way,
yep.
And Mexico like that.
Boom. Yeah. Because Mexico used to own it anyways way back in the day, 250 years ago, whatever it was.
They're owning it now, too.
Exactly. So just give it back to them. Yeah. And then you can deal with the Mexican government of hey, they don't give a shit about anything. They don't give a shit about the same things that California's like
don't give a shit about.
Don't give a fuck about. So like, why not see how that works out?
Yeah. Be the Wild West.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think it sounds great. Yeah, it's a sanctuary state. Right. So why not? Like, fucking just have it be an extender of Mexico. And then you guys can deal with all of that shit. And let me know how it works out for you. I have a feeling it'll be great. Because there's so many Mexicans jumping into America to get out of whatever that situation is. And I don't know what their situation is in Mexico, so I'm not even shitting on them. Because I don't know. I haven't lived there for an extended period of time. Right. I've only gone to the party cities. Sure. And I will only continue to do so. Yeah. I will continue to support the party cities that I love, Cancun, Cozumel, and Cabo. Yeah. Other than that, the rest of that country does not exist to me. Oh. And with that being said, let them all just fucking figure it out. Right. Let them all get together and figure it the fuck out. Because, again, if there's enough Mexicans jumping into the country and coming in that need work or trying to get work or whatever, and then California wants them to be in, and they don't want them to be documented at all anyways. Yeah. What's the fucking harm? Boom. What's the fucking harm? Cut the state off. Have it be part of Mexico or be its own country. I think everybody in America would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Literally. Everybody would be fine with that. The only thing holding California together is the weather.
Yeah.
And even the weather hasn't been that great there. So it's like, cool. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'd be amped about that.
I've got a passport. I can go to California still.
Yeah. Yeah, you can still go to California.
Yeah. If you have your passport.
Yeah, if you have your passport, you can roll in. Actually, you probably don't need it because you don't need it from Mexico.
They won't want to offend me.
Yeah.
By asking me for it.
For a passport. Sure.
So they'll just be like,
do you want to come in?
Are you a woman?
Do you? Yeah. They can't even ask that.
No, they can't ask.
Can't ask that either.
They can't ask what I am or where I'm from.
No, nothing. Nothing. So you can just kind of waltz across. Yeah, you will be offended. I think you just have to say, whatever you're about to ask me, I will be offended.
Offended card.
And then it's like, oh shit, sorry, come on through. So you might need I'm offended card is what you might need. I'm offended card,
and then I'll fit right in.
Yeah, but after all this rage, I don't want to rage against this. The audience loved your last crime corner. It's talked about. I was in tears. That was real. That was genuine.
How do you follow that?
Free Dirk the Penguin episode.
Oh, Dirk.
You got me. You finally got me.
You finally broke.
Yeah, I finally broke on Dirk. What
they all can't be Dirk, okay?
They can't be.
You know.
So what do you got for me today?
Okay.
Crime corner. Oh, yeah, crime corner.
Oh. Crime corner. Cops follow a trail of macaroni salad.
Are you fist fucking me?
Straight to robbery suspects. We're going into the archives for this oldie but goodie. 2015. Never trust the macaroni salad.
No.
It'll turn on you.
Yeah, it really will.
The main thing about this one is the visual of it. So, okay, so after police in Mount Morris, New York, apprehended 3 burglary suspects Sunday by following a trail of macaroni salad they left behind while making their getaway. So let's go over what they did. So they went to a Build-A-Burger restaurant and stole the cash register and their whole surveillance system, pulling down cameras, all the wires, everything. And on their way out, they grabbed a large bowl of macaroni salad.
Yeah.
Because they were hungry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Why else?
Yeah, of course.
But I just picture it when I make movies about this in my mind, about these dumb criminals. It's like the look back to the macaroni salad, you know? And the guy's like, come on, Jim, come on. Yeah. We gotta go. And he's like, oh, and like runs back into the place, grabs the big bowl. I'm starving, guys. All right, fine, grab it. Let's go. So then he grabs it, and they tried to make it down this trail. So they're on foot running down this trail back to their house or car or whatever it is. House, I guess. So they were hot on the criminal's trail, literally.
Oh, God.
They attempted to escape, and they found along the trail cash register parts, surveillance system parts, rubber gloves, loose change, and a steady trail of macaroni salad.
How much macaroni
they were taking bites.
Salad did they steal?
It's a big, large bowl. So you know, like when you're in like the deli or whatever, there's the big bowl, and you kind of get the half pound from that. So that's what they stole, is the big bowl of the macaroni salad. And it said they were taking bites of it on the trail, like as they were making their getaway.
Wow.
Running. And macaroni. Do you see that?
Yeah.
In your mind?
When you're on the run, you're hungry. You get hungry,
and it's easy for digestion, and it's just a comfortable.
They were probably out of power bars.
Yeah. And they didn't have too far to go, but they did need to still fuel up the whole way with this macaroni salad.
Macaroni salad wouldn't be my first grab.
No,
because it's got mayonnaise in it. So it's that's a dicey one where you're like, man, you could get something. How old is it?
Yeah.
Could I get a stomach bug? Mm-hmm. Like, what am I going to get out of eating this macaroni salad versus the reward of it? So that's a gamble both ways, let alone the robbery.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, you're stealing.
I would, when I'm busy, when I'm working, I'll forget to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I figure if I had a big job like that and I needed to get the cash and I needed to get down the trail, I personally think I could go without something.
No, I get it. I get
anything.
All of that. Yeah.
But maybe it was the glistening noodles. Maybe it was, I don't know what compelled them to do it, but it got them caught.
Yeah, it did.
Steady trail. I mean, it was just like Hansel and Gretel.
God, it had to have been a lot of it. I mean, that seems like a lot
think about this. Let me show you. You guys gotta watch. You have to watch the video shows, okay, guys? Tune in. So you're carrying a bowl. There's no top. You know what I mean? It's just like one of you's running with the bowl, and the other guys are biting from it.
No.
So you're gonna spill. Anyways, can't all be free Dirk, but that's your crime corner.
Crime corner. That was definitely up there with free Dirk to me.
Oh,
so
sure.
You're a lady and a hero, and you got a lot of Fringe on. You got a lot of Fringe. That'll lead us to the revolutionary figure of the day, James.
Okay.
Revolutionary figure of the day. I'm going to give this one to Michelle Williams. Not the Academy Award winning actress who was married to R.I.P. Heath Ledger.
Sure.
Talking about Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. She was with Beyonce. All of those, for years, for Destiny's Child or whatever. I kind of feel like I'm the Michelle Williams where, I was at a lot of this cool shit, but I wasn't that. I was never like, oh, hey, you're Ross Patterson.
Right.
Never like name famous where it's just like, I get a lot of you're that guy from that thing, from that movie, but not, hey, you're Ross Patterson. No. I get more of that now since a fucking podcast, ironically. But this, I would say this was like, I guarantee you, Michelle Williams was probably at this shit.
Yeah.
She's kind of hid in the background.
She's a who.
Probably got some news stories, some rad, news stories where she's like, let me tell you this. But I bet you she has the answer to who bit Beyonce's face.
For sure. For the right price, she'll probably tell you.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think she will.
Oh.
I don't think she will.
Okay.
But it's going to come out. Needless to say, this story,
it's gotta come out.
Beyonce face biting story has gotten too big.
Out.
It's got to come out who it is, and I'm curious. I'm curious who it is. So we'll see. We will see. You have any guesses
of who it is?
Yeah.
The first thing that came to mind was Courtney Love. So it's not her, but it has to be someone like her, like one of those, or like a comedian, like a crazy, or Kate McKinnon or something. Where it's like, you're crazy, you think it's funny, you kind of like, that's them, they just do that.
Right.
Otherwise, it would have like been a bigger deal, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going, but I have no real...
I don't know any females who party like that anymore.
Yeah, because you can't really get away with that shit
anymore. I would say... All right, I'm gonna throw out a guess. I'll say like maybe Taraji P. Henson. That's who I'll go with.
Okay, yeah. A little kooky, crazy. Yeah. Definitely was way more crazy back in the day.
Yeah, so I'll go
when
with...
When was this?
I'll go with
Did
her.
she say it was recently? Okay.
Don't know. So,
because if Tegan knows who it is, then she was probably there. And she's more of a recent
celebrity.
Beyonce hangouter.
Yeah. So maybe Michelle Williams wouldn't know. Destiny's Child hasn't been a thing for a while.
Maybe it's Chrissy Teigen.
No, it's not. She said Chrissy Teigen said she knew who it was. She's saying I know who it was, and it's an actress. So okay. I'm gonna go Taraji P. Henson.
Okay.
Somebody who's like maybe a little too familiar.
Yep.
We'll find out.
Like that. Yeah.
We'll find out who it is. We'll update the audience as soon as we find out. But this was a fun show, James. You had Fringe. You had a crime corner. You were your best self today, I would say.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on. For Jessie Wiseman, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.